Is Armor Shield ceramic coating all it's cracked up to be? We're going to find out. Alright everybody, welcome to my garage. If this is the first time you've ever been here, thanks for joining. I like to make videos about Corvette stuff, garage tips and tricks, and product reviews, so if you haven't done so already, help me to keep making more and bringing them to you by just hitting the subscribe button below. I'd really appreciate it. So let's get into this. We've been hearing a lot about ceramic coatings for a few years now, and it seems like it's the thing to do to protect your car's paint surfaces. And the problem is, it can be pretty expensive. I've seen people get quoted in the hundreds to even the thousands of dollars to have a ceramic coating job done. Well, there's a new product on the market by a company called Avalon King called Armor Shield, and it's been getting a lot of buzz lately. You might have seen it in some other videos. So I reached out to Avalon King, and they were really helpful and friendly and got some information about it. They say there's a lot of misinformation about ceramic coatings and that there's a lot of inflated claims and especially costs when it comes down to the application and the need for spending a tremendous amount of money on it. Their product is vastly more affordable, and it's a do-it-yourself DIY solution. So here's how it works. It's what they call a nanoparticle solution. Basically, even on a shiny car surface, the surface is kind of jagged, and it has a lot of valleys and jagged areas, and it's rough at a microscopic level. And the particles of Armor Shield are small enough to fill in those jagged areas in the recesses, and then it makes a smooth, really hard and durable coating on top of it. So that's what makes it smooth, and that's what makes it keep mud and contaminants from settling in to those rough areas, the pores of your paint, really, if you want to look at it that way. And you can actually even use it on glass and chrome. You probably don't want to use it on matte surfaces unless you want your matte surface to be less matte and a little bit more shiny. But above all, it's hydrophobic. It repels water spots, rain, ice, and anything else that would really collect and stick to the rough pores of your paint. And bottom line, it makes the car look better and it makes maintenance easier. Sounds pretty good, right? Yeah, it sounded pretty good to me too. So I ordered up a bottle of Armor Shield. Let's check it out. So here's what you get when you order the Armor Shield from Avalon King. The box that it comes in is pretty nice. Nice matte black with some chrome lettering and logo on it. And inside is another box, matte silver this time. It's always nice to get a product that's thoughtfully packaged. It kind of makes you feel like they put some care and thought into the product. So you might not be able to see it, but that's the bottle. The reason why you can't see it is because it's chrome and it has a pretty awesome reflection to it. But there it is. One thing I noticed before is that it's got this little stopper right there to make sure you don't accidentally lose any of the liquid. And comes with instructions, which I'm going to get to in just a second. A really nice microfiber towel, pretty high quality. A couple pairs of gloves, because you probably don't want this on your skin too much, I would think. And then a thinner towel. It almost looks like felt. And this is to wrap around this sponge right here, which has like a spongy side to it and then a dense side. So to wrap around it when you apply the Armor Shield. So let's get to that. Just briefly, I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but the important part is that the better the preparation, the better the longevity of the product you're going to apply. So step one is a very thorough wash. Use a pressure washer and then a hand wash. I think my car's been hand washed its whole life. The paint is in really good shape. Let's see, a chemical decom, a good pre-wax or degreaser. I use Dawn dishwashing liquid. I advocate that anybody do that once a year, give or take. That will strip any grease and oil and old wax buildup off the car. And you know, the old slogan, Dawn takes grease out of your way, so that's what I use. Clay bar treatment. You're going to see that I also use something, instead of a clay bar, I use something called Griot's Garage Fine Surface Prep Mitt. Polishing and paint correction if you need it. And then IPA, that's isopropyl alcohol, not India Pale Ale. I'm sorry to say, wipe down. So once that's done, you wrap the microfiber cloth around the sponge and you put on like 4 to 5 drops of the Armor Shield. You don't want to soak it. And then you go horizontally and then vertically on the car's surface, one panel at a time. Let it sit for 1 to 5 minutes, and then remove by buffing with the black microfiber cloth. And that's it. There's some more after applying and drying and curing tips and tricks and aftercare and general tips. But overall, I'm really impressed with the packaging and the customer service. So at this point, it's time to get on with prepping the car for the application. Okay, I just finished completely washing my car, and then instead of clay, what I use is Griot's Garage Fine Surface Prep Mitt. It's kind of an alternative to clay, and I really like it because A, you can't drop it very easily, and if you do, you can just clean it off. It doesn't let pebbles or dirt really stick into it like a clay bar does. And not only that, but it outlasts clay about 10 to 1 according to Griot's Garage. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spray this down and see how it is after it's been clayed. So the water doesn't seem to really want to leave too much. It's starting to kind of sheet, but it doesn't just slide off the way that it should if there's a good polish on it. And once I get the Avalon King on it, I think it's going to really just completely disappear as soon as it hits the car. We're going to find out. This is even after I used my leaf blower to try to blow the water off. It's just kind of there. This is actually worse than I thought. It's a good thing that I did the alcohol wipe down like the instructions recommend, because even though I cleaned the car thoroughly and degreased it and clayed it, look at that. It's a good thing. So just like the instructions say, again, a few drops, and we're going to go horizontally. And then vertically. Ooh, almost dropped it. That way you make sure you're getting even coverage. And then according to the instructions, depending on the temperature, is how long you let it dry. It's about 80 degrees here, so I'm going to let it dry about 2 minutes before I buff it off. Every now and then I check it with a flashlight. That seems to not want to work, just to make sure I got it all. And that's it. You just do it panel by panel. You don't apply it on the whole car and then go back and then buff the whole car. Just do it application to the panel, then buff the panel, then move on. I'm going to go back and do the rest of the car. It's pretty easy. Okay, the surface of my Corvette has been prepped, and then the product was applied properly, and then 24 hours, actually gave it 48 hours for it to fully cure. Now we're going to test it out. Not bad considering that before, when the surface was clean but unprotected, water just liked to stick to it. Now it definitely beads up and sheets right off. All it takes is a little gravity. Now I like to dry my cars off with a leaf blower before I use microfiber or an absorber on them. So I think it's safe to say if you're driving through a rain, you're not going to have too many water spots afterwards, because this is just a cheap battery-powered leaf blower. 60 miles an hour, I don't think much is going to stick to this, including dirt and dust and contaminants. Overall, I think it's safe to say I'm pretty impressed, considering that it looks better than what it did when the paint was pristine, and it lasts 2 to 5 years. I think this is pretty good stuff. So does Armor Shield live up to the hype? It's supposed to last 2 to 5 years depending on your conditions, so time's going to tell. But for now, I'd say yes. Once the surface was prepped right, the application was overall pretty easy, and you saw the results. You can see how well it repels water compared to the unprotected surface. And you don't need to apply polish or wax afterward, because it sit on top of the hardened ceramic coating, and it really wouldn't do any good. So it's definitely great at protecting your car and saving you time and effort. So, as you've seen below, you can get your own bottle of Armor Shield, and I'm going to bring you a $25 discount. When you go to the link below, enter Jason's Garage 25 at the coupon code part, and it'll save you 25 bucks off. So like I said, hit the link below and use code Jason's Garage 25, save some money on a very good ceramic coating. Their product is vastly less expensive.
Motion detected in the backyard.